Behind every photograph is a story we don't always get to see. This is especially true for wildlife photography. I've been coming to Erindi for 5 years now. It's the place where I've felt most connected with wildlife and where I've taken most of my wildlife portraits. But there's a lot more that goes on here that people are never really aware of. And now I want to show the work that has been done to ensure a future for the animals that I've been photographing over the years here.
Come on, boys! Come on, boys! Oh, he's like, okay, maybe you got food. Good boys. West is the one that we weren't able to recolor. You can see he's still got a VHF color on.
I see.
Where's those other boys? These cats, all of their mothers were killed in one way or another, and we ended up with the cubs to take care of. So there's two groups of 2 brothers and then a single male, but they all have been in captivity together with each other. We hope that they're bonded enough to stick together post-release. Boys! Oh my goodness. Just with us moving around and you guys hopping out of the car, we lost one of the cats. You see how new things really just kind of disrupt them. That's why we just always got to be super sensitive to their needs. If we want, them to do what we want them to do, we just have to really work with them sensitive. You got to be really, really patient. You see, there he goes. He's just running off. Hi! These cats, they originally came from the Chababis area, which is east of Windhoek. They grew up at CCF, which is 2.5 hours north of here in Erindi, and they're being released now here in Erindi. Rather than just taking the animal straight to the release site and releasing them out, we put them inside of a small holding area like this one for a period of time before the release, and that's called a soft release.
This isn't the first time that cheetahs have been released back into the wild here at Erindi. Currently, there are 8 cheetahs on the reserve that are the result of the rehabilitation program with CCF.
We'll find somewhere to take the cats, in the shade, and then we'll go over there. We just captured Oben. We've captured him now just to change his collar. So he's currently got a VHF collar, just a radio collar. We're gonna put a GPS and VHF collar on him now. So not only will it allow us to track them like we just did, but it also gives us GPS points as to where they are and what they're up to. And obviously, since we already have him on the table, we'll do a full checkup on him, take blood, see how things are, just to have a quick look at how he's doing. He's in amazing condition though, he's in tip-top shape. It looks really, really, really good. Collar's working. These males are 2nd generation descendant from a CCF rehabilitated cheetah. So it's quite nice to see how well they're doing. You can hear in the background his brother. Talisker's all alone, so he's wondering where his brother is, and that's why you hear that chirping noise. That's how they locate each other out in the bush. Nice. So we came back to Erindi a couple weeks ago to change all of the collars on all 5, but we actually weren't able to capture this one male. And now that he's done, we'll be able to release them tomorrow out into the reserve.
No lions.
No lions, no.
Okay.
2 of the collars on these cats have frequencies that are very similar. We're hearing the one above it and the one below it. That's that double beep, but no lions. So.
Good.
So we're good to go. Try not to make yourself big. Try and stick to the vehicle as much as you can. Yeah.
Go.
Good boys, come on! We're missing 2, so we can just do a loop around through the middle. Come on, boys! 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's go. Come on! Come on, boys! Come on! Hey! Come on, boys! Sometimes when we're releasing cats from bomas like this, they can get a little bit afraid of actually going through the gate. You know, these cats, they are raised in captivity. They've spent all their time around fences, so it might seem a little bit counterintuitive, but the captive cheetahs can actually get a little bit comfortable around a fence. And they see these gates and they see them closed all the time. So when it's open, it's something new, it's a little bit scary. It takes them a little bit of time sometimes to work up the courage to actually walk through the gate. And we had one cat here that was giving us a little bit of difficulty in wanting to come out of the gate. He kept coming right up to it, but just kept going back and back. So we moved all the vehicles away, and then he kind of came out comfortably on his own.
Going? Did it work out?
Yeah, got him out.
You got it out. Okay.
Got him out. Yeah, finally. He was just too skittish with the vehicles around. 1, 2. Mike, Thor, and Ben on one carcass. That single male has bonded, it seems, with Mike and Thor, which is great news, because being a single cheetah on his own is never as easy as being in a coalition. And then there's the other 2 brothers. There's one in the bushes just over here, and then his brother is just in the shade over here as well. So we just fed them a big meal right at release, and we like to do that so that the cats have full bellies for the first couple of days, 2 or 3 days or so post-release. That way they don't have to worry about trying to hunt, and that they can just kind of focus on being observant and mindful of their surroundings, and it gives them kind of some space to easily start exploring their new habitat, their new environment, without having to worry so much about food.
We can talk a bit, but just keep nice and low voices, so we don't disturb the bush in the area too much.
Go! Go! Come on, boys! Come on, boys! Keep!
Yep, they're there. They're right here. In the early days post-release, they'll stick around the fence a little bit more, and then eventually they realize that the fence isn't useful for them anymore, and they kind of leave it alone. But first few weeks or so, like, it's pretty normal for them to spend some time around the fences.
Go! Cut it, go!
Get them soon. They'll be coming from our right. Yeah, I see them over here. It's been about a week and a half or so since release. We released them south of here, and they've been spending most of their time in these mountains that you can see all around us. It's kind of hard for them to hunt up on the mountains though, so we've been wanting to encourage them to come down here. Coming from captivity, obviously they never have to worry about safety or things like that, but out here in the wild, obviously there's lots of threats that they need to stay aware of, and these 5 boys have seemed to have done a really good job so far at staying alert and being very mindful of their surroundings. I don't think they've made a kill based on their GPS movements and where they've been spending most of their time. So it's time to feed them. But everything so far is exactly as normal. We wouldn't necessarily have expected them to have made a kill by this point already. Obviously, we want them to make a kill as quickly as possible, but sometimes it does take them a little bit more time.
The story for these 5 cheetahs is really only just beginning. And like most of the cheetahs here at Erindi that I've documented over the years, I'll continue to follow these cheetahs along in their journey too, and share it with the world.